Audio Hub.
Hello, Granny T today, and we're going out in the garden to pick some string beans. Paul, do you got the buckets ready?
Got everything ready, Miles.
Audio Hub.
You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, Paul, if those beans would have climbed up the pole, we could have climbed up and saw the giant like Jack and the Beanstalk.
We sure could have.
And got us a goose that lays the golden egg.
That'd be nice.
We wouldn't even have to build a garden then, would we?
But you know what, Miles? We probably would, though.
That's right, Paul. Well, let's go see how many beans we can pick.
Okay.
Paul, where you at? I'm picking all these beans.
I'm trying to climb up over this fence right here.
Where you at, Paul?
I'm right
Paul,
now.
are you stuck?
Yeah, I'm stuck.
Oh, Lord.
Help me.
All right, I'll be there in a minute. Oh, don't hang on, Paul. Rip these bibbed overhauls out there on that fence post.
I sure did, Miles.
Oh dear, now I'm gonna have to sew them up.
Well, that warhead went and caught them and it just ripped them.
Oh dear. Well, it's a good thing I know how to sew.
I know. They sure do need sewing because they ripped bad.
Well, we're going to have to go shopping for you, I think, and get you some new ones, too. These are about had it, Paul.
I know.
We've been working too hard on the farm. But those green beans were sure good.
Best I ever ate.
I know. And we didn't have to fight a giant trying to get them.
I know. I was scared.
Boy, I wish it would have climbed up in the clouds, though. I could use some of those gold coins and a goose or a chicken that lays a golden egg.
I could buy me a new pair of breeches then.
You could, Paul. Well, let me get busy sewing here.
Miles, you sure done a good job on my breeches.
Oh, I know, Paul. It's a good thing I know how to sew, right?
It sure is. Saves us a whole lot of money, don't it?
It sure does. Well, Paul, we'll have to go shopping and get you some new overalls soon.
Well, we got to find that golden egg first.
The golden egg? Well, you'll have to plant some green beans that'll grow up to the clouds like Jack and the Beanstalk.
I'll go do that right now.
Oh, you got some magic beans?
Never know.
Oh, Paul, you're too funny. Hello, Granny T here today with a favorite story of mine, Jack and the Beanstalk. Oh, that Jack, he's a sneaky little guy. Let's see what happens today. Jack and the Beanstalk, retold by Amanda Willer and illustrated by Angela Kamstra. Oh, once upon a time, there lived a poor widow and her lazy son, Jack. Jack did not like to work, but every morning he would sell the milk from their cow, Milky White, at the market and use the money to buy some food. Oh, let's see what happens to Jack. One morning, Milky White gave no milk, so Jack's mother sent him to market to sell the cow. On the way to the market, Jack met a man who offered him 5 beans for the cow. 5 beans are not enough for a cow, laughed Jack. But these are magic beans, said the strange little man, and they'll bring you great fortune. So Jack traded Milky White for the magic beans. Jack rushed home to show his mother the magic beans. When she found that he had traded their precious cow for 5 beans, she grew very angry and she threw the beans out the window and cried, "We shall go to bed hungry tonight." Uh-oh, what happened? The very next morning, Jack awoke to find a towering beanstalk had grown from the magic beans. Being the curious boy he was, Jack hopped on the beanstalk and started to climb. He climbed and climbed into the clouds until he reached the top of the beanstalk. There, much to his surprise, he saw an enormous castle. Jack was very hungry from his climb. He decided to knock on the castle door and ask for something to eat. When he knocked, a very tall woman opened the door, and she said, "Go away, little boy." She said, "My husband, the giant, will soon return." Jack was terribly afraid, but he was just too hungry to worry. "Please, may I have just a bite to eat?" The very tall woman felt sorry for Jack, and she invited him in. No sooner had Jack begun to eat when the floor began to shake. He heard a boom, boom, boom. "And the giant is home," cried the very tall woman. "Quick, inside the oven." She threw open the door, and Jack jumped in. Jack trembled with fright as he peeked through the oven door. He saw a huge giant setting down to dinner, and all at once the giant sniffed the air and thundered, "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread." "Oh no, my dear," said his very tall wife, "that's just the stew I cooked for dinner." So the giant gobbled his dinner. He called for his wife to bring his golden coins. As he counted his gold, the giant grinned and drooled. He soon fell asleep at the enormous table. When Jack was sure that the giant was asleep, he tiptoed out of the oven. He slipped the bag of gold out from under the giant's huge hands, and he stole quietly out of the castle. At the top of the beanstalk, Jack dropped the bag of golden coins down to his mother's garden, and he climbed down after it. Jack and his mother had all the money they needed for a very long time. Then one morning, he found the bag of gold coins was empty, and Jack decided to climb the beanstalk once again. Up he went in hopes of finding more fortune. This time, the giant's very tall wife did not want to let Jack in, but when Jack begged for food, the kind-hearted woman offered to bring him bread and milk. Once again, as Jack was eating, the ground began to shake. Oh no, with a boom, 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 Jack jumped up and quickly hid in the oven, and the giant stomped into the castle and thundered, "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread." "Oh no, my dear," said the giant's very tall wife, "you're just smelling last night's dinner. There's no Englishman here." So the giant sat down and he gobbled his dinner, and he soon called for his hen that laid the golden eggs. And after collecting several of the golden eggs, the giant grew sleepy. He dozed off with his arm around the hen. Jack quietly left the oven and tiptoed over to the sleeping giant. He snatched the hen out from under his arm, and the hen began to squawk, squawk, squawk. Jack began to run, and the giant jumped up and chased him, but Jack was too quick. He scurried down the beanstalk before the giant could follow. Jack and his mother used the golden eggs to buy whatever they needed, but eventually Jack grew restless. He wanted to climb the beanstalk once again. This time Jack waited until the giant's very tall wife opened the door to hang out her wash. He slipped into the castle without being seen and climbed into the wood box to await the giant's return. It wasn't long before Jack felt the ground shake. Oh, it was shaking really good this time. And then he heard the boom, boom, boom of the giant's footsteps. As the giant sat down, he sniffed the air and he thundered, "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread." "Oh no," said his very tall wife, "there's no Englishman here. I'm sure of it." The very tall wife brought the giant's dinner. He gobbled it down quickly. He called for her to bring his singing harp. As soon as the giant was lulled to sleep by the beautiful music, Jack quietly left the wood box and he grabbed the harp and he ran for the beanstalk. And he ran faster than he had ever run before. But the harp started singing, "Master, master, master, help me, help me." Uh-oh, you better run, Jack. Here comes the giant. The angry giant jumped up and he roared, "You have stolen my golden coins and my hen. I will not let you steal my singing harp, for I will eat you up." Oh no! Jack quickly reached the beanstalk and he began to climb down. This time the giant was close behind him. When Jack reached the bottom, he grabbed an axe. Chop, 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 chop! The beanstalk and the giant fell with a tremendous crash. Jack and his mother and the hen and the harp all lived happily ever after, and they never had to worry about being hungry again. The end. Oh dear, that Jack, he was mighty brave to go into a giant's house, but he was taking things that didn't belong to him. Oh, I don't think you should do that even to a giant. That giant didn't catch him. Oh, Granny never wants to see a giant. Oh, I can't believe you ripped these bib overhauls out there on that fence post.
I sure did, Ma.